and it's lit.
All right. So basically, my perspective from when I got out was I hated myself. I did not think very much of myself because I was overseas. I focused so much on this task and this mission that when I got home, I had neglected my wife, which I didn't. But at the time, that's how I felt.
Okay.
Because when you're overseas and when you call someone and they don't pick up the phone,
It's a different time zone. We were at
Yeah.
12 and a half hours from the West Coast.
Yeah.
So that puts it's either 15
Yeah,
or...
I think it was 15 to 17.
It's just
on the
really
time of
weird.
year.
It's
Yeah.
really weird to try to talk to someone at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah. But
When it's 7 in the morning.
when someone doesn't answer the phone after you just got through a long day of multiple ticks, which is troops in combat, so you got shot at or whatever, and when you call and they don't answer and that person has a history of doing something, your perspective's pretty negative. You're like, well, what
You mean
what,
doing something?
just out partying and not caring and not raising your child and stuff like that.
That's the worst, man.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how life is. When we're young soldiers, we never have much time, so we don't get a lot of time to get to know women, you know. So we're just like, oh, you're hot. I want to stick my thingy in your dinghy. And
I'm really glad I didn't do that.
yeah, so yeah, you're very smart. I'm very happy for you because you got your life right, man. But
Thank you.
so when I first got out, I hated myself. I thought that I wasn't enough. The Army didn't even want me. Long story short is.
No, man. You got out. So you got out. You didn't like where you were, man. You
No,
didn't like where you
headspace,
were. You didn't like where you were. It's just a bad time.
I think I was tired of getting screwed over so much by everyone else around me that I had no trust. So I got out.
I get it, man. I really can relate. There was a lot of interesting. It was an interesting period for the military at that point. It was during the Obama administration, and there was a lot of crackdown on anything and everything fun, like no budget, no fun ranges, no good training.
Before my first deployment, we had a guy who had popped hot twice for cocaine, and all he did was get a 45-45, and then he made his way back up to specialist.
Did he deserve the 45 and 45?
No,
and
he was just
the retention.
He was just one of those guys that's really cool to be around, but shitty to work with.
Okay,
if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So there's a lot of those people.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was an interesting time for the military in general. It was a lot of downsizing, and so it was a hostile climate for a lot. It was a hostile workplace, hostile climate. Where I was at, it was just negative. It was a negative environment. There was a lot of bitching and complaining, and it was kind of prevalent throughout the whole unit. It was a very toxic atmosphere. Oh my God, it was a very toxic atmosphere. Like, this is when I first got introduced to the word toxic in that definition form of toxic individuals and a toxic workplace. It made total sense.
To put the toxicity into, you can go look back and look at an Army Times article from our unit. Basically, there was this guy who got
Fort Stewart, Georgia.
Huh?
It said Fort Stewart, Georgia, or Fort Brigade.
Fort Stewart, 4th Brigade. There was this guy who, I don't know, somehow got all this money, and then he started recruiting guys to buy guns for him because he'd give them money at strip clubs. And their plan was to poison the apple supply in Savannah, Georgia. Yeah,
yes,
so
I got there.
We got recalled on a Saturday for this stupidness.
Didn't they kill somebody and try to hide?
Yeah, they killed
what is going on?
Yeah,
same unit. Yeah, like that.
I don't want to get into everything.
That's
I would have to say allegedly because I don't know what happened with the legalities of all that stuff. But yeah, so basically, this is the kind of unit you're in.
So some murders.
Yeah, it's just dog shit. To be honest with you, Fort Campbell, I got there later in my career and I loved it. Real people there, everyone's trying to be the best them they can be. That's like what you envision when you join the Army. But yeah, so where were we going? Perspective?
Yeah, so I mean, you didn't like the climate, you didn't like where it was at, and it was very toxic, and so you moved on. And so how did you move on from there? Like you're in a bad headspace.
I just got out and said, I'm fucking doing my. I think some high schoolers take like a year or two break after they finish high school to go to college, or they do their freshman year of college and then take a break. That's what I was doing. I was like, well, I'm just gonna fucking. I'm getting paid for 2 more months. I'm just gonna get fucked up and party and.
So you had a vacation, a serious vacation.
Not really. I wish I would have spent it much differently. But yeah, so at the time, it's what I wanted to do.
You thought you wanted to party?
Yeah, I did a lot of
drugs.
Yeah, a lot of drugs.
You said that earlier.
Yeah. Well. I'm an open book, dude.
Well, yeah. So you did a lot of drugs. You experimented with a lot of stuff. You had a hard military career, so you wanted to find yourself. I'm guessing, and so you experimented with a lot of different things, and tried different stuff and tried to find yourself. I'm guessing,
so
find a new purpose.
So my brother that I was hanging out with at the time, all his friends were like hippies. So they're peace, love, happiness, and they're anti-war and anti-gun and all that stuff.
You were feeling the vibes.
Yeah. So like if I get hanging out with those people and I'm going through this tough process on one of these drugs where I'm thinking about the times where, so
you're looking for therapy.
Yeah. So like there's a bad guy that I had to do something to and
you feel guilt.
Yeah, but if you talk to them about this, it doesn't matter because you're just this piece of shit. Just like-minded people that usually do drugs. So I would say the word hippie, but I'm not using it to be discriminatory because I know a lot of veterans.
Yeah, I'm just some like-minded individuals who are looking for a good time or perspective-changing substances.
So basically, whenever they can get their next high is what makes them happy, and they want to live off the earth. They want to do. We don't have different thoughts, me and them, so much. It's just that they could not accept that I did what I did, but. I think it takes both.
It's a hard subject to talk to people who don't understand what war or violence is to that extent, and to be so privy to that and to be exposed to that so many times, and to be the person to be giving that sentence of almost divine justice.
Yeah, so it's like I don't fit in here at all. I'm a fucking turd. I'm a murderer, pretty much is how I thought of myself. And then
state-sanctioned murder.
Yeah,
governmental sanction.
I'm not a murderer. I would never kill someone unless they tried to kill me first.
No, this was they started it. They had to start it. We couldn't start it.
Yeah,
there was no us starting.
Choice, yeah.
There's no us starting it. We were not the people to do any starting.
Yep.
It was not our job.
Nope.
Not even if they had a gun.
Yeah, I mean, we snuck in. I used this route one day. We snuck in on two 14 to 17-year-old mams, military-age males, that we caught them in placing IEDs, and no bullets were fired. We snuck in, did a perimeter around them, and then said, hey, we know what you're doing, and then they stopped. And a lot of other units would just be like, hey, they're fucking putting IEDs, because I had authority to do that. I just said, no, let's catch them. Let's gather intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, that's
smarter. That's saving more lives than just smoking these guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have a conscience, sir.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that a lot of other SF guys do too, and I'm not saying I'm SF. I'm just saying like the mindset I took there was kind of like that because of the books I had read, to where it's like, well, this is gonna be. Yeah, you can look at like a lone survivor story. Like they could have smoked those two guys, and everyone would have survived, but they didn't because they made the call. And I think that's being an American. That's what makes us great. Is that we
makes us different. It makes us because we usually.
Yeah, but they had the choice there.
To think about it.
We do not have that kind of choice.
No, we don't have that.
Now, in that scenario,
those rules of engagement are not like us.
Yeah, in that scenario, I don't know what I would have done, but I would have been looking for the survival of my men over anything else.
So you did when you did that.
Yeah, but
so you just used your world experience.
But it wasn't even my men; it was us.
Why are you comparing it to that, man? That's totally different.
It was us versus them. Like it was like, hey, if I don't kill these kids, right, they're gonna look at Americans different. So I'm not gonna breed their two brothers or two uncles or whatever to go to the other side, because
when you needlessly kill somebody, you start enemies for life.
Yeah, and you don't gather intelligence to help other people stay alive. If these guys can give me any intel on who's paying them to place these IEDs in this tree line,
because they're getting paid for that. They not just decide, man, we hate Americans that much. I mean, some of them do for sure. But I mean, if we killed some of their friends,
then they definitely would. Yeah,
I mean, there has been, I'm sure, needless violence where we were. So like, we didn't need
on
to
our
be
deployment.
extra.
Yes, but I will not speak of it.
No, we don't need to be extra about any of it. That's not important. Yeah. So I'm just saying, it's like when the need is to be disparaging, we do. We did that.
Man, I don't want to kill someone. I'd rather them stop what they're doing, realize what they're. It's like if a cop encounters someone. I don't imagine they just fucking come out here and just be like, hey, stop what you're doing. Oh fuck, and then they're like, yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't think that they do that though. I think it's kind of.
I've seen videos that tell otherwise, but I mean,
I'm not saying all cops are great. All cops are bad.
Those are different trained individuals. But man, this is time for a different story.
I'm just trying to use a metaphor to explain.
I get it. So yeah, man, you changed yourself. You thought, man, I want to party. This is what I want to do. I'm hanging out with these individuals, and then what, man? Like, did you find that perspective that you needed, that change, that enlightenment that you were looking for?
I kept doing what dumb guys do. I'm not saying that I'm dumb, but the military mindset teaches you one way. If you do something, you're gonna go full retard. So you just keep fucking trekking.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but. Yeah, so you just kept on going and just went into a spiral?
Yeah, I went into a spiral. I hated myself. I couldn't understand why this was happening to me. I thought of myself as higher than most civilians, which I'm not. And
you had a holier than thou complex.
Yeah, because of what we did and how many deployments I'd been on. Which,
well, yeah, I mean, you were a sergeant. I mean, you did things.
I know.
You operated tours.
Yeah, but I wish that YouTube was more prevalent and I got a lot more of these SF guys to come out and actually speak before I had went through what I went through, because their knowledge that they're spreading and how humble they are no matter what they've been through is awesome. And that's exactly how I am. I'm humble. I throw some shots at some 11 Bravos, but we all did fucking service. Everyone experiences shit except for Fobbits. And
man, it's just a rivalry. It's just a rivalry, bro.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, I'm a scout. I'm here.
You're a cowboy. You like spurs, and they like, I don't know, like blue and guns or something.
Like baby blue.
Baby blue and guns.
Not gonna lie, that blue cord looks sexy.
I mean, I honestly don't like a cord, but I'm whatever about it. Oh man. So
anyway,
you went down this road, and then what, man? Like, did you have a turning point, a breaking point? Did you hit your lowest low?
Breaking point when I crossed over. So after
that was the moment. That was the low point. That was the lowest point in your life, right?
Well, I had thought about it a couple times before, but using a knife was not quick enough for me. I wanted to just do it. And I guess subconsciously that came out, and I ended up putting my arm through a window, and that's exactly what I did. And after that, I spent like the next 3 months on Percocets, and my arm was like the size of a softball, and I'm stuffing gauze in it. I couldn't even bathe myself.
Yeah, man.
But everything's relative, so I'm not trying to be. I always think that people are perceiving me a way that I'm not trying to be.
No, man, I don't think the people are perceiving in different ways. I mean, you can't control how people perceive, but what you can control is how you conduct yourself and how you articulate yourself, man.
That's true. I just
articulate yourself however you need to really express your opinion here or express your emotions here, because that's a real emotional moment, man. Like, you went to the lowest low, like you died, bro.
Yeah.
You fucking died. You died, like dead, like not living anymore, bro.
Yeah,
that's serious. That's serious for people.
It's very serious, and when I woke up from that, I wanted to make peace with everything that I did not make peace with. And
that sounds like a good idea.
It took quite a long time actually after that, but I think that opened the door to be like, hey, this is your salvation. This is your, I don't mean to use that word. I just don't know a better word. Yeah, it's like, hey, you have a chance to do right for all the bad you've done, and so I started to go down that path a little bit, and then I got distracted, and I was like, well, in order to live as a functioning person in this society, I have to work, and I have to do this, and I have to do that. And
you do?
Yeah, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm saying I appreciate the capitalism. I love it, but I wish I had a little bit more time to be like, hey, I have creative thoughts. I'm decently talented at certain things. If I spent most of my time focusing on one of those tasks, I could be great. And I never did that. And that's one regret from that. But I'm so happy that I'm still here because I get to share my story with other people. I get to talk to my guys that I was on fucking deployment with and get to like actually talk to someone that's like, yeah, he's not bullshitting when he said he did that. Or he's not bullshitting when he says he's like a good NCO.
Yeah, no, you like to tell stories. But
yeah, dude, I mean, I love war.
I like to hang out with people who are like-minded individuals.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a
always
greater
trying
purpose
to
in
improve.
life.
Always trying to improve.
That's my type of group right there.
Yeah.
It's my type of people I like to hang out with. Is like-minded people who have a greater purpose in life. It's
always trying to improve.
It's a really good mindset to have, and it's a really good energy to feel off of. Like when you're hanging out with people, who are like, yeah, man, let's go do some stuff. Let's go get out there.
Yeah.
Like, I like doing things. Like, I like selling things and making money and going and meeting people and having a good time and not jeopardizing my life and risk-taking nonsense and
some of that's fun.
Buying stock and ruining your financial thing. And, oh my god.
Follow the herd.
Yeah, do whatever you want to, man. But So you changed yourself, man.
Yes.
So you felt better.
Yeah, just much happier. I started once I got off the Percocet and my arm was healed up enough, I just started running. And I think the first run I did, I ran 10 miles, and I was like, "Holy fuck, dude!
That's a lot, man.
This
I know people who can't run a foot.
Yeah, this is like 2 years separated, and I'm kind of fucking fat bodied at the time.
How heavy?
I got out at 220. I lost a lot of weight because I wasn't eating and I was doing drugs. Not like fucking hard drugs. I was experimenting with hallucinogenics.
That's good.
I lost quite a bit of weight because those drugs take a long time, and I didn't like to eat when I was doing them for some reason. I just thought the idea of substance when I don't know. We're all one thing when you're on those kind of things, and you're like, I'm eating myself kind of mindset. But maybe I'm fucking crazy. I don't know, but I've had that experience.
That's your perspective.
Bro. Yeah.
That's what you felt like it was a thing, man.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Took it as literal.
At the time, and then
you're under the influence, bro. You're not thinking right.
Once I ran like the 10 miles, and I was like, man, dude. Like, I just did that just out of nowhere. I was like, bro, like, I could really do, this also makes me sad now, too, because I could be so much farther ahead than where I'm at because I get complacent.
Well, I mean, that happens, dude. You're trying to find yourself. Like,
yeah.
You described yourself really, and it sounds like a broken person, man. It sounds like you were a broken person. You weren't whole.
No.
And then you broke worse. You tried to find something, and you probably found the wrong things.
Yeah.
Sounds like, and then
that run got me on point, though. I was like, wow. Okay,
that's a long run, dude. That's a long run.
These people are complaining about all this stuff, and it's like, I only ran 10 miles in the Army twice before that. And that's because I had a crazy-ass captain in Hawaii that made us do it. But, scouts usually, most guys don't need to run 10 miles in a war field. I mean, if you did, you'd do it because you're getting shot at, so your adrenaline's going. That's why they have some sort of baseline, like 2 miles. Yeah. But yeah, man, I did that, and like there was deer all along my route, and they weren't like running away or anything. It was just kind of like, hey, man, you're here, and like you're part of the world. It's okay to be.
They saw you had a different purpose in mind, so
yeah.
they just left you alone. You left them alone. I've had that in nature. It's a different moment.
I sat at a lake for 20 minutes, just hanging out, just observing and watching the ducks swim, and how divine this world is, and how great it is, and how I don't want to leave it again. And not until I have to, until I've made my mark.
That sounds beautiful, man. It sounds like you found a moment out in nature and found yourself a little bit, and maybe found a little bit more purpose in life.
Mm-hmm.
And those are really beautiful moments. I love those.
Yeah, awesome.
Especially after a really serious experience. Find some tranquility, some peace, some serenity. It's a nice moment to take a pause. Do a little meditate. Think on life and get some perspective in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. So since you changed, what do you think on back in the military of like, if you were yourself today, would you conduct yourself differently?
Back then?
Yeah.
I would have been more open to the idea of authority, but I would have done it with the intent to help them improve. And I don't...
You're saying you would have been more authoritative towards individuals?
No, like people above me, like the NCOs and officers above me. Like I think that... No, I wouldn't change a fucking thing, honestly, because every time I was a leader, everyone came back home alive. There was a deployment I wasn't, and not everyone did.
Yeah, that's a good standard.
So I totally divulged myself into my work. I was a workaholic. And
so.
and it helped us come back, and I wish I still had a part of that, but I just haven't found a job to where I have that, and I know a job that I would, and that's firearm survival, just stuff like that. That like it's a purpose. Like that's why I love these guys. Like Mike Glover, like he's awesome. If you guys want to get into survival stuff, you can go Fieldcraft Survival. You got Sean Ryan, Vigilance Elite. He's out here. He's training John Wick, for fuck's sake. A bunch of cool guys, man, that were not out when I was like going through this shit. But yeah, I don't know if I would change a thing.
That's a good statement, man.
I would change my temperament. So like my fuse, I would try to have it longer, so I didn't blow up on a sergeant first class. Staff sergeant.
Yeah.
I never did it to my soldiers. I only did it up. I never did it down.
I understand, man. I mean, that's That's interesting. I mean, that's interesting you say that because I mean, that's something I would change. I would change a couple things, man. I mean, that's just me specifically, but I did have a huge ego for a long time. Like,
Should have though.
No, I mean, this was pre deployment. I had a huge ego, and that's what I'm.
If you, I don't, I think that if you did not have that ego, you wouldn't have been able to be a medic for our platoon.
I don't know, man. I could have operated as I am now today with
if we would have had
less
chariot,
of an ego.
Yeah, but you're older. Your frontal lobe is fully developed.
Yeah, I do feel that.
You've experienced that deployment. That deployment humbled me too, bro.
Well, I mean, it was a humbling experience in many aspects, but I really felt like I had an ego and dragged it out when I didn't need to, and in so many ways, and conducted myself.
You never did it with me.
No, and just in general. In general, like when I did, it was needless,
I guess.
So,
but you were also feeding off the other.
Yeah, I was in the fucking environment.
See, a toxic environment when you have toxic leadership.
Yeah,
it funnels all the way down. Shit rolls downhill.
It does. So, man, I feel like we wrapped up perspective pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, looking back is something that vets do either fondly or you know, with very great reverence because it's a tragedy to them. So, you know, having that perspective and being able to look back on your life like that and look back at the highs and the lows, all of them included, and to you know, to really wrap those up in a bow, you know, that's a really nice thing that I've learned to do, and it seems kind of like you've done that as well. As like, you kind of like wrapped up your Army career. Like, this is it. I know it is what it is. You know, I had the highs and I had lows, and it is, you know, it is settled. I don't need to go back there. There's nothing defined, you know, intellectually or emotionally from there, and it's, you know, if you do, that's you know, in your own time, of course, but that's something I really came to terms with, and it's something I like for people to think on and to really get to know themselves on, because it's like closing something off that you didn't know you had open, and if you don't really visit the past all the time and don't really close the stuff that really needs to be closed, it'll just lay open in your mind forever. And you don't need to be thinking about nonsense that's 20 years ago, like, oh, who kissed who in high school and how you got jealous. Like, that's nonsense. I don't need to think about that. So I wrapped that up. And, you know, it sounds like you've done that and overcome a lot and really changed you. And it changed you, it sounds like, for the better, man. Like, you're really out here trying to help people out, because you've been on the other side, I guess. And, you know, have a message for the people and want to give that message to some specific people who are having troubles with that. And you know, I appreciate you know, really giving that and really divulging what you did divulge, because it's hard, man. It's hard living. It really is. There's so many people that we know have died just offhand, or suicide, or just nonsense, just gone.
Just because if you get to, I'm 32 years old, if you get to this age, you realize 16 to 20 is 4 years at that time, but when you look back at it, it's like 4 months.
It feels differently looking back. Like, the older I am, the different, the more I like it fluid the whole time seems, but it doesn't seem like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem the same. I can't make it to tomorrow. I can't do this. I can't do that. I mean, if you have those thoughts, which, I mean, everyone does. God, I do.
I don't have them anymore.
I don't have any more, because I closed down a lot of the nonsense that was creeping up and back, like all the fears and dreads and all that kind of stuff.
Well, life is so short.
It is, and that's something that
it's short enough. You don't need to make it shorter.
No,
that's why I'm saying always help.
There's so much to do. Like, I love to look forward to just nonsense all the time.
Yeah, if you're thinking about killing yourself, just go hire someone and go jump out of an airplane.
No, don't just go do a thing. Like, do what you need to do.
I'm just saying, if you want to experience what it's like to almost die, then go do something like that. I think that there are some people, especially veterans, that when they get out, they lose the thrill of combat. And so they don't know what to do. So it's like, dude, if you never jumped out of a plane, just go.
Yeah, dude, go hit
jump out of a fucking plane.
Like, I mean, like, and then go snowboard therapy.
Yeah,
like, that's important. Go talk to somebody. Like, I can't tell you how much. Like, I talk to people. I talk to people. Do you talk to somebody?
Not anymore, no. But I did, yes.
Okay. So you feel like you wrapped that up too?
Yeah. Okay. Got over it. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's never, it's never really over.
Well, I got over
like,
the military stuff. I still have family shit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, but like, when you need to talk to someone, you know where to go. And, so people talk to a therapist. Like sometimes they're not affordable, but find a fucking way. There's some free ones out there. Mm-hmm.
Especially for veterans, we'll find the links.
Yeah, I'm gonna put those in the comments below. I have to do a little bit of research on that one because, thankfully, I have not had to call that. I have not had to go.
I never did. I kind of wish I did. No, wait, I did one time, and then it's like a script that they read to you.
I think they changed all that.
Okay, well, this was.
Yeah, they have a huge emphasis on the veteran line because people were getting hung up on. So I know that they put a lot of man hours and time and technology into fixing that. So it's good. I'm pretty sure it's less automated.
Way to unfuck yourself.
I don't want to check, man. I feel like I'm going to waste the line. So, yeah, man. So, anyways, your new goals. What are your new goals, man?
To create a homestead and to be self-efficient, self-reliant, to also teach firearm stuff. I'm not saying I'm the best shot or anything, but I enjoy, especially me after I came out of my injury.
Well, teaching teaches you.
Yeah, I love teaching. That's a big thing too. I used to make land nav fun when I used to teach my soldiers. I'd use boobies and stuff as like terrain features, and they loved it and they actually learned. And it's
connected with your soldiers individually.
Yes.
And specifically in a way that would communicate to them efficiently.
Yeah, I was fair and impartial, so I knew that when I showed something to one soldier, I had to go over here and double explain to this guy because you're only as strong as your weakest link, and that's what I was always taught. And so,
you took the time to learn each of your soldiers and each of the people you had under your care, under your guide, and showed them exactly how to do what they needed to do, and picked up when they weren't,
Yeah, they responded and were receptive to the training instead of being like, oh, fuck this guy.
Well, I mean, it just shows you care. There's a lot of NCOs, officers, leaders in general who just drop the ball when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, man, go just do your job.
They don't care. They just want an OER bullet or an NCOER bullet, which are evaluation report bullets.
Yeah, man. So you want to be a good shot, and you want to teach people about that.
Yeah, I think because I'm not as strong as I once was. My right arm is jacked, to say the least. So not like in the good way. My left arm's pretty solid, but no, I'm just kidding. So I don't really have the same abilities that I once had to defend myself. So I had to learn. Teach. Yeah, I could. I mean, I can learn jujitsu and learn balance and stuff and all that kind of stuff. It's not like I'm not looking into it. I'm just saying that actual getting back out to the range and shooting bullets helped so much aggression just go.
That's beautiful, man. I'm glad you found that tranquility. And did you know
you
needed
me feel
that?
Safe.
Did you know you needed that?
I don't think so. I think that I just, luck of the mill, I ran across somebody that I was working with at the time, and they were a big firearm person, and they were like, hey, do you want to go shoot? And I was like, sure. And I haven't been in forever, and then I just picked up a gun, and I was like, I like this gun, I'm going to buy it. And that's what happened.
Nice, man. I'm glad you got back in touch with that. I mean, so people who don't know, when you leave the military, you don't get to keep your gun.
Yeah. You don't get
I got asked that several times. No, you don't get to keep your gun.
Wow, I can't believe someone asked it. But you can't buy a Trijicon ACOG for cheap either. Those are just standard issue.
The fancy optics.
Yeah, I wish I would have known all that shit before I started building an AR. That shit was tough.
Yeah, they cost a lot of money. They're nice though. They're nice. You can get a really nice one, but they do cost money. Yep. It's a good safety feel. Yeah. Anyways, so that's your goal, man. Your goal is to be a homestead person. Like, what does that entail, being a homestead person for you specifically?
Just knowing that if whatever my family that's there at the time, it doesn't matter if I have friends there. Whoever's on the land is my family, and just knowing that if sometimes you have friends that stay, and stuff like that. But, well, no, I don't believe in Bigfoot.
We'll find out.
Fuck, dude, maybe.
You want to move to the sticks, right?
Yeah, way out in the mountains. The boonies, for sure. I want to be able to hunt my own land. It's my land that I can hunt on. No one's regulating it. I can fish on my own land.
Trees.
That's your own food. You're not relying on a system. You got tons of trees that you can just hide in,
So, an undisclosed location in which you would train people.
It's not that I wouldn't.
Some firing range type thing, tactics course.
Yeah, I would love to have,
That's your goal, man.
To use the land for guys much more high speed than I to teach tactics, but...
you facilitate the training. You don't have to be doing the training. You can train people until you facilitate the training. That's fine. That sounds like a great goal, man. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Just teaching people how to be self-reliant and self-sufficient and feel safe. I feel like a lot of reason men take their lives is because, especially from PTSD, is that they don't feel safe when they get back home. They are like, oh my God, you know, at any moment they're going to be coming for me. And it's like, I don't know who they are. But I felt that too. I'd catch myself locking my doors. I'd be like, fuck, man, I don't feel safe here. And it's because you don't have your brothers around for the most part. That's what I think I've come to find out.
You think it's the brothers thing? Like I feel pretty safe at night. I also
Ever
set
since-
myself up. I also set myself up into where I know that I'm safe. I set myself up with a safety net. Like
Yeah.
I'm in X place, which is X safety rate, and you know if I need to feel safer, I can always purchase a firearm or whatever. You know, per state regulation and all that kind of stuff. But I felt safe. I had an environment where I did feel safe. But I also immediately moved in with two ex-military dudes who I served with overseas. So it was a safe environment.
It's like, hey, I know how you operate under fire.
Yeah. So I moved out
So
with
if shit hits the fan, I know you.
some of my two favorite dudes, Lou and Stu.
Lou and Stu.
Lou and Stu. You know the fuck you.
Fuck you, Lou.
Love you guys.
Just kidding.
No, that's fucked up, man.
No, I love Lewis, man. He's a good guy.
Yeah, so that was
Stuart's a good guy too.
yeah, that was a safe environment. I remember I got to California, and it was like recently after I got out, and like I was just staying in an apartment, sleep on the couch.
It's all San Diego?
Yeah, it's all San Diego. It was his first apartment. Living there with those two guys. It was 2 bedrooms, so third guy's on the couch. I was a new guy. They'd been there for a couple months, so it was cool. But yeah, I was like, whatever, sleep on the couch, no big deal. I got plans, I got life things, and I was sleeping, and then a dumpster lid closed, and it slammed, and I fucking, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That knocked me out for a minute, but like I still felt safe. Like I felt safe after I looked around and went, okay, I realized I'm in this environment, and it's okay. Like it's not a bad bang.
Yeah.
It's not a bad bang. It's okay.
I don't know. I just don't like living stacked on each other. Like I'm not a big fan of that. Especially around here where there is, not here where I live now, but where I was staying, there's a pretty decent amount of crime. And so I was like, man, fuck, dude. Now I viewed myself, because I was living with my mom, you know, after post-surgery and stuff, where I couldn't do anything by my fucking self. So I felt like I became the protector of the house because I'm the eldest male, and
You just felt like that was a natural role for you?
yeah, because I mean, I know the most about it in the family, and I feel like being part of a family or group is using your knowledge to better the whole situation.
Yeah.
And so that's how I thought, and so I always would go a little extra, and I started having night terrors and shit. I think that this helped me process that information, because before I would just have that stuff and I didn't be like, oh, I need to look at this and grow. It was just, oh fuck, man, that sucks. My life sucks. This is shit. This is shit. This is shit. And I just like kept piling on.
That's a lot of people today. I can't tell you how much like I see it all the time. Like it's this weird loop that people do of, you know, just saying life sucks, not really thinking about it or dissecting it, and then just picking up and moving on.
Yeah.
But
I don't wish that on anyone.
no, I mean it's a hard thing to overcome. I mean I had to overcome that myself, so it's a hard cycle to break. I know
For sure.
and that was a very conscious thing I had to do. I had to think about it. Well, first I had to realize it, and I went, oh my god, this is a terrible thing. I shouldn't do this.
Did you read philosophy while you were in?
No,
I did.
I did.
Maybe that's why.
I don't read anything.
Well, maybe you were already
medical
naturally a
texts.
philosopher. You spent a lot of time outside when you were young, didn't you?
Some.
In the
I grew up on a
woods?
farm.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Sometimes.
Makes sense.
It was a weird farm.
Makes sense.
Didn't really farm much. Just had a lot of animals. I had ostrich.
What?
Ostriches.
You ever had ostrich jerky?
No, the
Me
birds died naturally though.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't. I never ate an egg. We had lots of eggs. I never ate them. I was scared. They're huge. Fucking ridiculous. Yeah, man. So like, what was I at?
I don't know, man. I'm just
I don't
having a
know, just
conversation. I'm
ostriches.
sorry.
Yeah, it's just silence. What? Goals, man. Goals. Accomplishments.
Goals.
I totally forgot what we were talking about. That was the worst, man. I just lost it with the ostrich.
It's all good, man.
I was thinking about riding an
ostrich.
ostrich.
Dude, imagine riding an ostrich into a battlefield in Afghanistan.
Dude, yo. So, first sergeant, one time when I was in the back of an MRAP, we were driving through the Afghanistan dirt,
Yeah.
It was just dirt. It's just dirt. It's flat dirt.
It's like moon dust.
Yeah,
That's
so
what we call it.
it's like a giant mountain complex, and then dirt settled over time in this between mountains. So it's just flat. Anyways, we're driving along, and there's like a couple camels rolling by, and first sergeant looks at me, and I think we're running outside, and he goes, "Hey, King, let's go ride those." He's like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's get on and ride those." I was like, "What? What? You sure? Yes." You know what I said as a PFC? Yes, First Sergeant.
Yeah, the only acceptable answer. Yes.
And then he goes, I'm fucking with you. And I go, yes, First Sergeant.
The only other acceptable answer.
100%.
Dude, we got I can't remember we went basically straight east of the base, west of the base, and we went straight west, and we went down, and we got shot at from these mountains. It was all sand, and then I went to the straight prone position, dude, and I landed on something, and it started moving. I was like, oh, fuck, it's a snake or a scorpion or some shit, dude.
None of
it
those
was
there.
a big-ass fucking tortoise I landed on.
Oh, that's dope. I would have
And
kept that. You
it's
didn't know that.
stupid endangered, and I was like, yeet!
Just yeeted. Oh, my God. Dude, I love
I didn't fucking know, dude. I was getting shot at. I was like, fuck, yeet!
Man, did you fuck? I hope you saved that.
No, I'm sure he's fine, dude.
He probably flipped
I'm sure he's.
himself
I'm
over if it was
sorry, Franklin.
Franklin?
Franklin the turtle. I don't
Franklin.
know.
What, Steve? It's always my go-to name. Steve.
His name was actually Kevin because he's a lizard.
Kevin. Lizard. I thought he was a turtle. Tortoise.
Isn't tortoises lizards?
What, bro?
Aren't they lizards?
Bro, you talking the wrong physics right now.
These are not physics.
That's my fucking point.
Hey, you unfuck yourself.
Why? Bro, that's aggressive right now. I don't know what to say.
I don't think it's aggressive. I think I'm funny.
Okay, bro. If you think you're funny, that's the standard right there. That's the standard to funny, guys.
No.
100%. Like and comment. The standard to funny is thinking you're funny.
Yeah, I mean, if you laugh at yourself, then I mean, fuck the whole world. Right?
I hope you can laugh at yourself. I hope eventually that is something I lack in the moment, but afterwards, oh my God, I can. Sometimes it takes a couple months. Like there's a time I made an oil spill because I fucked up a filter change on a car, an oil change filter. Yeah, fucked that up really bad, and I made a big mess, and it was shameful, and I got so fucking mad about it, as I usually do. And then later on, after my wife said, that's a dumb idea, why were you so mad? I said, because I was mad. I didn't have a reason. So then I thought about it, and then I was like, man, I had a reason. I was mad.
Yeah, you were mad because you didn't perform it as well as you thought you were going to.
Yeah, but then I realized later, and then I laughed on
something.
it. I went, oh, okay, I can laugh on it now. It's funny. Now it's funny.
A learning experience.
It took fucking months.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's all about learning experiences, like understanding yourself and making sure that like you're not perfect. No one's perfect.
You should be able to laugh at yourself. It takes a while sometimes. But you should be able to laugh at yourself.
Well, I think more people have a better, especially younger people today, like they have a much better job at doing it than I do.
They look at more memes. I think that's the secret to life, man. Just looking at a lot more memes. But not too many memes, because if you go into like political memes, like it gets a little too much, man.
Yeah, it gets a little spicy.
A little spicy. I gotta dip out of those. Yeah, man. So, anytime about goals, man, what are some accomplishments that you have right now?
Ooh, I'm a hell of a man.
Okay, bro.
I'm probably like,
wow.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm like basically every chick's dream.
Okay, sure. So you're single, I'm guessing.
No.
Single and heterosexual, guys?
No, I'm not looking for anything.
You're not looking?
No. I'll leave it at that. No, man. Some accomplishments is my daughter had a great 8th birthday.
Nice. Congrats.
She had a great Christmas the year before that. I am not a lazy fucking piece of shit anymore for the most part.
So you changed your ways.
Yeah, I'm angry when I have to work for the most part, but I'm just not happy there, and that's me. I'm not
that's
projecting it off to everyone else, but I'm just doing it to myself. It's like, well, I have to do this to be a part of this in order to survive.
Jobs are hard sometimes.
Yeah, that's what most people have to do. We're not all out here fucking, oh, I can just fucking do this and do that. It's like, no, man, you still have to go and suck like everyone else. It's embrace the suck. That's
embrace
the best way
suck. That is a statement I've heard a lot.
That is an accomplishment that I would say I'm good at embracing the suck. I don't care what environment I'm in. adapt and
It's a solid accomplishment, dude.
figure it the fuck out. I was actually a pretty good college student until I just said, fuck this.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I would say the highlight is being like opening my eyes to how different people think now than when I went through school.
That's good, man. I mean, that's a good thing because it's hard to really understand what other people think. It's super fucking hard because we can't do it.
Well,
we can't fucking do it. We have no idea. They
we're-
can articulate what they're saying. That's if they're fucking telling the truth. I can tell you I'm feeling a certain way.
There's a lot of compulsive liars. There's a lot of compulsive liars. They just keep going, and it's like,
I know. It's hilarious.
You
Now
tell
I
me
look
you-
at them and I go, well, good for you, bro. Sometimes they convince me. Just kidding. They never do.
it's just weird though. Like you'll be talking to someone and be like, oh yeah, well I know someone that did this,
Well,
this.
bro,
and this.
that was the standard. So, like, people without the internet, people who grew up without the internet, have this weird standard that I noticed of, well, I have this bit of information that I was told by somebody that is, I think, is trustworthy. So I'm now
100%
gonna
true.
I'm now gonna espouse this information as 100% fact because my friend Timmy has a coworker named Doug, and he knows the races.
Oh man,
He's got the bets.
yeah.
Give me that info.
Yeah, it's dumb shit. It's like no one's just like, let me just be honest about myself all day long, 100% of the day. I'm angry right now. Okay. I don't need to project it onto you, but my persona is like, hey, I'm not in the mood for conversation. Yet, people want to have conversations, so you have the conversation and you don't portray or project yourself onto them. It's like, I'm having a shit day doesn't mean this person has to have a shit day, or vice versa. It's like just having common decency for other human beings. That's so lost today.
Common decency is not common anymore. So just having decency. It's
like common sense
Common
is not
sense is
common.
not common anymore. So it's just sense. And you would say, I don't know, what would be the new phrase of sense? It doesn't
Uncommon
make any
sense.
sense. Uncommon sense.
That's what we should call it.
Uncommon sense. That's a good one. Uncommon sense. Yeah, there you go. Having uncommon sense. So your accomplishments are great, man. I really like that. Yeah. I don't know how that's an accomplishment for anyone but your parents,
Massive accomplishment.
unless you had a nice plastic surgeon. In the case, that would be his as well, his or hers.
Dose plastic surgeons.
I was
I
envisioning.
basically
Sorry.
got an octopus's tentacle.
That's, bro. They make those toys. You don't need to change that.
What is that
Yeah.
called? Hentai?
Yeah, man. I've seen it in someone's bathroom one time. I opened a cabinet. And I was like, oh, that's not what I need to see.
What I think 30% of deployment is spent passing around hard drives full of
Porn,
naughty things.
naughty things. Yeah,
Some people are into scary porn.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird tastes out there. Like I really, I don't get into it personally. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff out there, but
Yeah, I'm all that regular degular stuff.
yeah, whatever floats your boat. But it is interesting seeing other people's taste in pornography.
Unless the chick's
Firsthand.
head does a 360 and she
Yeah,
projectile
there's
vomits.
always a come up one up. It's of yo man, look, check this thing out. It's way too intense, man. She got the baseball bat. You're like, what the whoa? She got the what? So I remember someone on deployment said something about The Grudge, and I was like, The Grudge? What? Why would you want to watch that? Why would you want to see anything, especially like I'm thinking vomiting and like some like dead thing and like waterlogged person? I'm like, that's all disgusting. Why would you want to watch that? But yeah, man, some people have some interesting tastes, and I'm not gonna deny them of their taste. There's probably an avenue. It's like what, Rule 34?
But you're right.
Rule 34, guys.
To do, I don't know what the hell that means, but
Like hashtag Rule 34.
like, hashtag, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. If you don't
dude,
fucking
hit the
like
bell.
me, I like you. Just so you know.
If you don't
I
like
think- I
Jamison,
think
that's
you're
fine. You don't
sexy.
have to like Jamison. He doesn't have to be here forever.
No, I do.
Yeah, he does have to be forever. I'm just
Because I like you even though you don't like me. That's for all you guys out there that don't like yourselves. I like you for the both of us. I like you enough for the both of us.
Oh man, I like that song.
I love me enough for... I had to stop
about
the
the
show
Drake
because
song.
of copyright
Yeah,
infringement.
get the fuck out. I was thinking about the Drake song. I don't know what the fuck you're singing, bro. All right, man. So I'm gonna say some highlights. Like, what do you say when it comes to like, you know what,
Kobe.
military? Just the first.
Oh, highlights of the military?
Yeah, just highlights of the military.
Graduating basic, I know how stupid that sounds. It was fucking easy, but
I say it sounds stupid.
I mean, it was like
I've seen like my battle buddy, as you call him. He wanted to quit like literally
in basic training.
The week before we graduated. He's like, "Bro, we have a rec lunch and you're done. What are you talking about?" That was hilarious. I had to walk him down there. I was like, "Bro, are you sure you want to do this?"
No,
it's like, "Bro, we're almost done." He's like, "I know, I just can't handle it."
Basic for me,
but he did it.
Was like, I came in during the surge, so they were just like, "Hey, fucking, we need bodies." So they sent all these people in, and helping people that were lesser like skilled than myself. Like I would literally grab this guy. His name was
Jose.
It rhymed with a dickum, but the first letter was a W. And I pushed him on every ruck march up the mountain. And I would get yelled at by my drill sergeant and have to get smoked afterwards because I pushed this fucking little shit.
You all carried his ass up the
yeah, pretty
hill.
much.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and my drill sergeant would see it and he'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they always call me Jamison because I'm a dumbass. And when I went through EIC, which is Excellence in Cavalry, I stuffed the tow missile into the tank thing backwards. And they always call me jamming it, but they're yelling at you. They're doing simulated fire. I'm 17 years old. No, I'm 18 because I turned 18 my first day of basic training. But I'm young as fuck. I've never experienced any kind of like craziness like that. So I did it fucking backwards. And of course, they call me jamming after that.
Jamming it.
And they'd like throw your mail. They'd be like, "Hey, we got mail, jam it in." And they'd throw it right at your fucking face while you're standing up for your rest and it just fucking bounce off. Like, jam it in.
I know.
But anyway,
some people are crying.
This
like,
guy
that's fucking horrible. Why would they throw mail at his face?
He wouldn't. He couldn't.
Those are
make
his
it.
love letters.
He'd just be like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I just be like, "Dude, just fucking go. Give me your pack. I'll take it. You just fucking go up there." And the guy's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And what's weird is my drill sergeant would get mad at me in front of everyone else, but then when he's smoking me on the side, he'd be like, "Hey, man, you're gonna be a good leader."
Good.
And it was weird because it's like, dude, you're showing everyone else that I'm like a turd, but you're doing that on purpose so you can get more one-on-one time. It's not like he'd smoke the dog shit. He'd have me in the front line position, and I would do
so many.
push-ups.
I've had so many weird conversations on the front, like the friendly rest. Like that's a weird story of situations by itself. Like I can't think of any offhand right now, but like,
well, he didn't make me count or anything. Anytime he just was like, "Hey," and then one time he asked me as we were doing our STX, which infantry guys do FTX. I guess most other people do it. We do a scout training exercises. He was like, "Hey, what's the easiest way to find a bridge?" He asked me, he's like, "Hey, Jammin, what's the easiest way to find a bridge?" I said, "Hey, drill sergeant, it's follow the water." He said, "Oh, okay. Everyone get in the water." So we're fucking walking through the water with our fucking rooks to find the bridge. No, he just took it very literal. I should have said what he was looking for was follow the banks of the water. That's what he was looking for.
A little more description on there. I mean, you gave him the ansser.
Yeah, they're just drill sergeants. I mean, I would have done the same fucking thing. So, okay.
This sounds kind of funny. I'll grind on that too. God damn, man. That sounds like some good good highlights, man. Accomplishments. They're not accomplishments. They're just highlights, man. It's basic training. That's a good one.
Just the process itself. It introduced me to the Army. When I got to my first unit, my XO was the first guy I met. He ended up becoming a Green Beret. Awesome guy. I met him back when I was at JRTC, and I got to shoot. I don't know if you call it a doom buggy, but I shot a minigun off some sort of four-wheeled vehicle. That's ATV, I guess.
Bang, bang.
It was fucking awesome. That was a highlight. My returning home from my first deployment, definitely a highlight. Returning home from my second deployment, definitely a highlight.
Yeah,
and a low light. They're both highlights and lowlights because I never had anyone there. But like somebody else's wife would like give me like a lay. When you come back in Hawaii, they lay you. You know, you get the flowers around your shit. Nice. So someone's wife always took care of me. But very lucky. Not that way, guys. Just nice ladies.
Just wordplay.
Yeah,
just wordplay.
No, nice ladies. I miss my buddy
Not
Trotter.
foreplay.
Trotter, you better check this shit out. You're an interesting individual, and I miss you, brother. That was good. Just the deployments. When I actually qualified everyone in our unit for Battle Drill 6, which is CQB, CQM, CQC, close quarters battle, close quarters marksmanship, close quarter combat, whatever you want to call it. It's basically
look it up.
It's room clearing.
I'm pretty sure you can Google it.
My platoon sergeant technically wrote the standard operating procedures, but I wrote them for the entire squadron, and I ran everyone through. And I was the RSO and did the glass house, which is like a piece of engineer tape or a piece of tape taped up to some sticks, and you simulate going into a room and you do a stack. Not that 10th Mountain bullshit they just released, because that's not how anyone fucking does any fucking business.
That shit was funny.
Dude, I'm just mad. Maybe it's the sergeant in me that just kind of like, you fucking motherfucker. Like Shark Can comes down, I'm like, you fucking piece of shit.
That's complacency.
Yeah, I mean, I think they released that on purpose to be like, hey, you can be this dumb and join the army now.
Oh no, don't tell me they did that. That's a bad idea.
I don't think that they did, but anyway, other highlights, having a kid, that was awesome.
I'm sure.
Getting married, not so much.
Not for you.
No, it was a weird day. It's like, oh, she was like crying because like,
Jesus.
She's like, well, why are we doing this? And I'm like, well, if you don't want to, you can say no. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. But highlights was spending time with her there in Hawaii because we got to know each other, had a great time.
That's cool.
Living in Hawaii was a highlight itself for the most part.
That sounds like a great place to live for a little bit, like 2 years max.
Yeah, I mean,
couldn't do it.
Moving up the ranks so quickly was another highlight because it's like, damn, bro. It's like
You feel like you were.
Yeah, I didn't think I was that good, but
You
it's
thought
like,
you were the
damn,
guy
bro.
all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit. Now they're
picked up low
calling
ego
me
and then-
out and saying we have one Ranger School slot and you're going. It's like, fuck, dude. I don't want to jump out of a
insane.
plane. I mean, I will if you're fucking telling me I can, but fuck.
That's crazy.
That was the biggest part for me. It's not the PT. It's not the land navigation. I mean, I clearly proved I could do all that overseas, but it was the jumping out of a fucking airplane. And I always wanted to go air assault, and that was a big thing. I wish I could have went from Fort Stewart or fucking. No, actually, I don't. I wouldn't change a fucking thing because I met some great guys. But
Same.
another highlight is the Battle of 5-0, actually.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the first times I was like, oh shit. It wasn't one of the first, but it was like one of the highest tiered ones where I was like, oh shit.
I remember.
We're
I
going to
remember that.
fucking die today.
I didn't feel like that. I just felt it was very interesting. I remember a moment specifically. when
26 casualties?
I was shouting at you. I remember very vividly shouting at you, and I was like, I couldn't hear myself shouting.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, that's intense. There's a lot of bang bangs. I believe in the videos on there. It's Tracy's video. It's like him like rolling the video. For
That's after we got hit with the
I wish I would.
82s.
I mean, I don't wish I videoed it, but I would kind of wish I did. I don't know. Yeah, it was like
82 millimeter recoilless rifle rounds. We took to them.
yeah.
Not took them, but they landed close, and those shits will blow you on your fucking ass.
Yeah, like I remember looking at a guy and he's like, "Come on with me," and he goes around a corner and it immediately comes back around and he has a bullet wound through his
A&A guy?
bicep. It was
yeah, I
hilarious. I was like, "Oh my god, what?"
That's why, Mr. Person, you robbed two people that were deserving. Okay, I'm just letting you know that. And it's not like we do it for those certain things, but it's like, bro.
Okay, whatever, dude. I mean, I'm over it, bro. I'm over it. I know you're not over it.
I'm not,
I know you're not.
because
I know you're not. I know you're still a little salty, bro. It's
I
okay.
could shit on that dude in every aspect of life.
I know, me too, bro. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I can use whatever justification I need, but man, it's hard. I get it. Anyways, so that was a good highlight, man. It was a scary time for a little bit.
Well,
I
being
was a little
recommended,
hyped.
being recommended for that kind of award was a highlight too. It's not that I wanted it; it's just like, hey man,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
finally
good to
getting
know
fucking
that
recognition.
it's good to know that you've been recognized for something.
Yeah.
I do agree.
Let's see.
I mean, I would done
Becoming, I'll tell you my biggest highlight that I remember most, and this will be the last one, is shooting HE explosive grenades at a mountainside in Hawaii. It's the most gorgeous thing you'll fucking ever see. It's like, this land is so great. Let me America it. Yeet!
It's like plants and stuff. Oh no.
It's fucking awesome, dude. Gorgeous. The weather's great, and you're fucking launching. You're just at the range shooting grenades all day. It's fucking awesome, man.
That does sound fun, man. Yeah, man, that sounds like a great list of highlights, man. I really appreciate that. So my quick questions for you on this one is, what do you think percentage of NCOs are just trash, bro? Just trash. Military right now.
When I was in, I would say 90 to 95% are
That high?
Yeah, they're just playing the game, dude. They don't care. They're only there for themselves. And now I don't know what percentage of units are deploying. And I was going through a time where a couple of my NCOs in my first unit or second unit, they were fucking deployed 6, 7 times, and now you get an E7 who's never deployed, and he's like, oh, I was a drill sergeant. I know everything. Yeah, it's like, no, you kind of lose that Army dress right, dress bullshit. Once you get overseas, you realize that's not what matters.
No, I mean, if you take this weird thing that the military does of like formal marching and formal.
Why you got your fucking hands in your pockets, bro?
Yeah, all this formalness. It doesn't make it does it like it tries to instill a harsh environment, a hard environment to like have discipline and make sure everything has order, but it's very lackluster in its approach. So
that's how FOB should get treated all the time, not combat arms guys.
I mean, I would say about 50%. I would say 50% of NCOs were trash.
Are you serious? You would go that low?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 50%.
So
I'm gonna say that they cared, and like caring to me is not trash. They didn't. They weren't good. They weren't good. Oh my god, some of them were horrible, but they cared sometimes.
Yeah, but that's not enough.
I had a different experience than you, sir.
That's true. I mean, you're a medic, so the pipeline's totally different.
Totally different.
But
a bit.
Let's see. My first team leader forced me to do steroids.
Wow.
I did a whole cycle of steroids. In Iraq.
Yeah.
Because he wanted a workout partner.
Yeah, I can't say that I can relate, man. I really can't. That's a bit much.
And we got hit with an IED. What's that shit called? EMP. No, it's not an EMP.
You talking about the copper one?
Yeah, they used to take copper like heads, and then it would form a shape into a shoal.
I forgot what that's called.
EFP. Fucking
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Google it.
Yeah, you could figure it the fuck out. It's got copper on it, and they put them in actual like T barriers or Jersey barriers like in the side, so it aims straight at the gunner and fucking clap their whole fucking system. But yeah, he got hit with no shrapnel, but his shield did on the striker, and he checked out. That was the same guy. He's like, I can't wait till we get in some shit. Big buff guy. I won't say his name because he actually taught me a lot prior to. But once we got over there, I was like, well, some guys talk a big game, and some guys speak softly and carry a big stick.
Yeah, I mean that's what Teddy Roosevelt said that.
Yeah, and he just checked out. He said, I'm going to the 3 shop. Wow. He left. My platoon sergeant at the time left. That was both of their first combat, and then I got Sergeant Green. Motherfucking badass Sergeant Green. Freddie Mercury Green.
Freddie Mercury Green.
What ethnicity do you think Freddie Mercury Green is?
I don't know.
Take a guess.
Vietnamese.
He was black. From Mississippi.
Cool.
His name was Freddie Mercury Green. He was named after Queen. Isn't that dope?
That's dope. That is dope.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He was a fucking cool ass guy. Yeah, he's awesome. Fingers and toes, keep your head on a swivel. I'll never forget.
Head on a swivel, man. So for you, 90 to 95% of NCOs is trash, man. That's
combat arms? Yeah, for sure.
Oh, combat arms. Yeah, that sucks, man. That sucks. What do you think that is?
Because they're in a system to where it's like, hey,
it's a game.
I'm NCO now. I'm with other NCOs. Hey, other NCOs, I have to fit in with you. That guy's shitbag, right? You guys talk about that guy being shitbag. You're a shitbag.
So that's a toxic environment.
Yeah, it's just monkey shit. It's like, no. Why don't you stop like doing the groupthink bullshit and just go talk to that soldier one-on-one, individually look at him in the face and say, hey.
You mean counsel the soldier?
Yeah, but you don't have to do it
Isn't
written.
There a form for
you
that?
can do in verbal. Yeah, you can do verbal or non-verbal, so you can write it down.
Forms.
Yeah. And then you're supposed to do it every month for a career progression. A lot of NCOs fucking don't do that shit because they're fucking lazy. And they have to catch up when the SAR major says he's doing a fucking inspection. And then I'm their fucking squad leader like, look, dude, I fucking gave you some freedom to roam.
It's a very specific example, sir.
Yeah.
Still got that anger in there.
It happened a lot of times, man. And I'm the guy that ends up writing their fucking counseling because they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. It's like, dude, I don't have time. You went to warrior leader course. You should know how to do this. I have to focus more on tactics because we're working on a workup process. And that's another thing I hate about the regular army is the paperwork bullshit. It's like, dude, I'd rather take a soldier out back who fucked up and fuck him up for 30 minutes. I don't mean fight. Just fucking put him through some physical, strenuous shit.
Not
for
fuck.
30 minutes. Definitely not fuck. I'm pretty sure most soldiers would rather do that too, especially when I went through. I don't know about now.
Okay, bro. Well, I'm gonna change the subject. Keep going on the other side. Like so. Yeah, 95%. That's a lot, man. I'd say 50.
Say 90.
I'm gonna say 90. I'm gonna say 50 because There was a lot of garbage.
It might be better now because more people have been deployed.
I feel like deployments humble people for sure. That's
Well,
a
rough
distinct-
ones.
Yeah,
Rough
well,
ones.
rough ones. Yeah, that's
Relative.
yes, relative. Yeah, everyone's
Like that cook NCO that
okay. Anyways, yeah. So I mean, that's high, man. That's high. I hope it's different, man. I really do. I
I hope it is too, for sure. I think that 100%, I would say 90% of SF guys NCOs are great.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because they're all there trying to be the best that they can be.
Yeah, they operate in a different environment. It's a beautiful environment they operate in. All right, man.